Now this is part 10 of the Earth 2 draft paper roadmap. Part 1 covered the introduction and stats, Part 2 covered the Earth 2 player, Part 3 covered economics, Part 4 the economic components, Part 5 the Ecosim, Part 6 player technology, Part 7, 8, 9 Tokenomics DAO and the team. In this episode we'll cover all aspects of the Earth 2 roadmap and their vision going forward. Right, just in case you haven't watched any of the other parts, I'm going to add in the Earth 2 disclaimer before we move on to the content. The content provided in this draft summary and Earth 2 update is intended solely to provide a general background information about Earth 2's proposed objectives. It should not be interpreted as a white paper, disclosure statement, representation, or promise. The content should be considered as an indicative update but remains subject to change without notice. The information in this update was posted with reasonable care and attention. However, no representation or warranty or express or implied is made by Earth 2 as to the fairness, accuracy, completeness or correctness of this information, opinions and conclusions contained in this draft, summary and update. Earth 2 disclaims all liability for direct or indirect losses resulting from using, relying or acting upon information in the draft summary and update. And so do I for that matter. Section 10. Roadmap. This roadmap provides an indication on when Earth 2 expects to deliver various features and technology developments in the Earth 2. As it is presented with previous updates deployment, we expect further predicted deployment to include more than what is listed in this document. Some features have intentionally not been listed. Some features listed in the comment section may be scheduled for earlier delivery, but we have chosen not to display when that delivery is to be expected. Some descriptions inside the roadmap are intentionally vague due to confidentiality reasons. Right, now I'm not going to read all the features that have been released to date, but I'll leave them on the screen for a few seconds and I'll drop the PDF link in the description below, so feel free to check those out. So, going from where we're at in quarter 2 of 2022. Resources release part 1 of 2. This will likely just be showing us what resources will be on each property. Player to player holo building trade. A community gallery page displaying all types of player creations from Earth 2. I'm not exactly sure what this will be. Maybe just a showcase of holo buildings, tile art and the likes. Do you guys have any ideas? Earth 2 resource validation. This is where we can see here, this resource is missing from this area, and other players will then vote on it, which will get the E2 team to look at those locations faster. Correct votes will then be given a reward, which is presumably essence. We can also expect the official white paper launch, the E2 physical master cards, a verified megacity index, and the first essence rewards. Although I expected that to be part of the resource validation, if it's not, I'm not really sure what that is. Now, moving on to quarter 3, we have the Essence token launch, but that may be earlier, so quarter 3 is the latest we should expect it. Following that, we have the integration of Essence live trading price into Earth 2. I guess that's going to be like where they link the cost of Essence on the exchanges to features such as upgrading jewels, land, and so on. Next up, we have Resources Release Part 2, Resource Production Begins. This, I presume, will be the actual collecting of the resources from our properties. We're also getting the ability to upgrade land from tier 2 to 1, which makes sense, waiting until we have the trading value of Essence to tie that to. There's also going to be gifting, version 2. I'm unsure of what that is, maybe gifting jewels and Essence as well. We will also see a second Essence reward system, then portals. I'm guessing portals are linked to EPLs, but we'll see. A huge one in quarter 3 will be the Earth 2 social media platform. I'm really excited for that one, to be honest. After that, we have land leasing, that's coming in quarter 3 as well. Hopefully they'll build in some good mechanics in the contract where the landowners have an opt-out if the leaser isn't really doing much with the land, but at the same time they're building protection for the people leasing as well, so the landlords can't just pull it from under their feet. Then moving on to quarter 3/4, we're getting Earth 2's Digital World version 1. That's what was shown in the last tech demo of flying over the world. Basically, it's a low poly version of Earth 2 and tier 1 Ecosim buildings to keep us busy in the lead up to phase 3. Then a global scale 3D egg hunt, which will certainly be an upgrade from jumping on every image posted looking for eggs before being able to enjoy the actual content for what it is. Then the Earth 2 launcher. I'm not sure if that's referring to the app or maybe something to launch the apps and games that work within Earth 2. Do you guys know? Then we have the vehicle/ship creator. I would guess that's based on the drone editor. And in the next section of quarter 3/4 continued, we have the Earth 2 DAO. Again, that's in the Tokenomics video if you're interested in hearing more about that. Earth 2 land NFT claimable on network. We've covered that in the Tokenomics section too if you're interested in hearing more. We will also have the Mega Mart. I've seen Shane mention that before. I think it's basically just going to be a much better version of the current market, covering everything from properties to resources, holo buildings and gems. After Q3/4, we just have coming. I'm taking these to be things that are in the works with no dates estimated. First up, we have the Earth 2 PvP version 1. We know Earth 2 version of drone is supposed to be dropping this year, so I'm guessing these are one and the same. Then on to holodecks. I've seen these mentioned before in the past, but I can't recall any information on what they actually are. If you guys know more about them than me, please let me know below. Next up is MM. I have no idea what that is, maybe an abbreviation of mission mode. Again, for the next one we have CNPCs. I'm not 100% sure on that, but my guess would be custom non-player characters. Then to Earth 2 customized buildings version 1, residential, commercial, airports, ports, roads. Now these are likely something different to the Ecosim buildings, as we've already seen those mentioned earlier. Next up, we have the long-awaited avatars. I'm really excited to see these. I think the only glimpse we've potentially had was the humanoids in the drone footage. Now another abbreviation, IRM. I had no idea on this one, but a quick Google brings up Information Rights Management, IRM, is a discipline that involves managing, controlling, securing content from unwanted access. I guess that could be it. What do you guys think? Then onto EMM, another one I had to Google. This comes up as Enterprise Mobility Management, EMM, is the set of people, processes and technology focused on managing mobile devices, wireless networks and other mobile computing services in a business context. Again, that could certainly fit in with what Earth 2 are doing. After this, we see the voting system, which we've previously covered in detail. Next up, we have Daily N, or Dial YN. Google couldn't even give me an answer for this one, so if you guys have any idea on that, let me know below. Then we have WP. My guess on that would have been white paper, but we've already seen that mentioned far earlier in the document. I guess it could still be that though. Then moving on to Earth 2 streaming. Maybe streams from the PvP matches, official game streams on the platform. That's what I would think with that. Next is E2 for E1. If you're a follower of Shane's social media, you will likely know what this is. It's going to be something in relation to Earth 2 doing good within Earth 1. A way for the platform and us to help the real world. I'm kind of excited to see how this works, to be honest. Lastly, we see the ads marketplace. This, as we know from earlier, allows players to decide what is shown on their properties and assets. Now remember, those last 14 we've just been over were just listed as coming. There's no specific date and they're not necessarily in order. Now the last page of the Earth 2 draft paper is titled The End Goal. So what is the end goal inside of Earth 2? What should I be doing or striving to do? First of all, long term, you should be looking to create your own space. A space where you can escape and feel happy. Where you can look at the digital things you own and the things you've created and reflect on what each one is and how you came to acquire it. How they make your space into what you want it to be. For others, Earth 2 will be a place to flex, to play the game and not only collaborate, but to compete with others, to be better than the next player and to have more than the next player, to be one step ahead, to show off their trophies and designs and travel Earth 2 in style, to have a visual aura around them which speaks volumes of their presence. It will be a place where all players who believe in the metaverse and the value of digital and virtual items and worlds can come together with a common understanding and common ground, without needing to say a word. Web3 has given a glimpse into what commonly accepted value lies in virtual and digital goods, and Earth 2 will become an access which brings all such things into one place with the ability to build, display, hold, use, link, discover, experience, all by which solidify the value and worth of everything that exists within Earth 2. It will be a place where a player can start from scratch without land, without assets, by simply creating a free account and putting in some dedication, time and effort to make their way. It will be a place to conquer, avenge, ally, trade, build, play, fight, create, express, connect, and so much more. Because of all this, traditional commerce will follow. People and businesses will create 3D environments inside Earth 2, not only to sell digital wares, but physical wares too. People will advertise, hustle, bustle, and suddenly we will have a buzzing world, but a world where the extraordinary can and will happen every day. A place where the virtual you can live forever. Would you like to join us? We're creating a second Earth, Earth 2, a geolocational metaverse of the real world, and a place that will transform into things we have not yet envisioned. Earth 2, the people's metaverse. Player, thank you for playing. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have an amazing day.